Welcome back, and today I'm gonna show you my 2024 vice presidential tier list for Donald Trump. So let's start with Michael Flynn. So Michael Flynn was Trump's former national security advisor, and he got into a lot of scandals. He is pretty much to the right of many people and would really hurt Trump's appeal to independence and would sink the ticket really harsh in a harsh way and would not help Donald Trump at all electability wise. And for the next one, let's go for MTG. So there we go. MTG would be another candidate that would hurt Trump quite a lot if he picks them. So MTG, there's not that much to say about her since you already know that she's quite scandalous, and on a nationwide level she would be rejected just like Flynn. And she's actually in the shortlist for Trump's VP currently, and probably like in the top 5 if I had to make a guess, so she could actually become his vice presidential pick. Furthermore, let's go to where is she at. So Carrie Lake is slightly better than MTG. She not because she is better, just because she does have less scandals, you could say. Carrie Lake, she would not bring anything to the ticket. She would not even help getting Arizona over the line because of her saying 2020 was fake, and yeah, she still has that loser stigma still. So let's go to the D tier. So for the D tier, right here, I think Huckabee, the new governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she would not help Trump that much. I think, yeah, she would be an okay for the, she would be an okay pick for the base, but she's from the ruby red state of Arkansas. Not any state near her is competitive at all, and simply put, there's just better candidates out there. And let's go to another southern candidate. So for Marsha Blackburn, her main issue, just like people like Michael Flynn, is that she is more to the right than what mainstream America would like to see a candidate be at. She does have more experience than Huckabee, which is why I do have her above on the list, but she would not be a great person. She would just dent support with independents, just like most people here. And yeah, not that much to say about her. And now for I think this is a big one, so Nikki Haley. So Nikki Haley is completely the difference, a really opposite character to Marsha Blackburn. Nikki Haley would give you a lot of independent appeal and would help Trump in some areas, especially in the suburbs. But Donald Trump would bleed quite a lot in the rural areas, and with his support, the base would really not like someone like Nikki Haley. So yeah, she does dense support for Donald Trump. And yeah, following that, let's go to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, he would give Trump more of that 2016 vibe, which would help him with some of those 2016 Trump supporters. Issue is that his negatives would be that he would give Democrats really high turnout. Having Trump and Tucker Carlson on the ticket would just be unbalanced and would not help Trump at all at winning the presidency. Although a different candidate could actually, Tucker Carlson could not actually not be a horrible choice, but with Trump it just would unbalance the ticket too much. And for another person that has a similar issue, for Rand Paul, he does unite. He would get support from most wings of the party, but just like Tucker Carlson, he would help Democrats have really high turnouts, and that's something that Trump really would have a lot of problems with. He also is from a really deep red state of Kentucky, so he would not help Trump at all that much. He does unite the base, but that's really about it. Let's go to Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem is someone that I really thought about a lot on this. So Kristi Noem, she would have problems uniting the whole entire base, unlike someone like Rand Paul, but she is the governor of South Dakota, and she would not bring anything much to the table. Her main appeal would probably be with farmers and people in the deep red states in the prairie area. So that's really, I mean, that's something that Trump already has maxed out. So there's really no big reason for him to pick someone like Kristi Noem that would not help in any swing state except, you know, getting more of the woman support, but that's really everything that she would bring to the table. And so for them, I kind of like the most boring pick. That would be Mike Pence. So Mike Pence, if Donald Trump picks Mike Pence, that would be probably the most boring pick and really underwhelming for most people because Trump has already said that he wants someone else, so that would be just a bit boring. It would dent support for Donald Trump a lot, and he would be seen as a bit of a flip-flopper or some, and kind of a bit of a someone and taking back steps, of course. Although the reason why I do have Mike Pence above these people is that he would give a lot of those people that voted for Trump in 2020 and are hesitant to vote for him in 2024 a second chance, and would bring those 2020 voters to 2024 perhaps. But yeah, it would dent the base, and a lot of people wouldn't really despise Trump picking Pence again in 2024. For the C tier, yeah, finally for the C tier, I think Stefanik, House Representative from New York. So Stefanik, she would help Trump with support within the woman demographic, of course, but a lot of people just don't like her because of her past, and her voting intentions in the past has collided with Trump in some ways that's a lot of people would not like her to see be Trump's VP. She's also House Representative and lacks name recognition. I think people that lack name recognition would be, I mean, Sanders. A lot of people would lack name recognition, and she just doesn't bring that much to the table. But she would give Trump some needed help in the woman demographic, of course. So as I was saying, you know what? Let's go to the next one. And I'm gonna say Ted Cruz. Yep, I'm gonna say Ted Cruz would actually be just above Stefanik. The issue with Ted Cruz is that even though a lot of the bays would like Ted Cruz, it would seem as an okay pick, especially more recently that he has aligned more and more with Donald Trump. The main problem for Ted Cruz is that he would give Democrats, just like Rand Paul and Tucker Carlson, he would give Democrats really high turnouts and would hurt Trump on the ticket as well. Even though he may be an okay pick, but he's just that average pick that he just has positives and negatives, of course. And for the next one, for Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton is better than Ted Cruz, I think. Tom Cotton would give all factions of the GOP an okay confirmation because they all like him. I think libertarians, Trump, the Trumpists and populists and the establishment would be fine with him being the VP pick. He would be a bit boring because he does lack charisma, but he would be a pick that would not hurt anybody. He does lack some name recognition, but yeah, he'd be okay pick, I guess. Okay, so this is pretty much my hot take, I think. Tulsi Gabbard. So Tulsi Gabbard, she really could be anything from an S tier candidate to all the way to an F tier candidate. She's really hard to predict how well she would do. She's a bit of a nuclear option. She would get a lot of the Trump 2016 voters that really did not vote for him in 2020 or just aren't thinking of voting for him in 2024. She would get a lot of those progressives, Bernie Sanders supporters that are thinking to perhaps voting for Donald Trump, and Trump would be able to get away with this because he's Donald Trump and has so much appeal to the evangelicals and rural areas that would not like Tulsi Gabbard but still would vote for Donald Trump no matter what. So Tulsi Gabbard is a risky choice for Donald Trump, but could turn out to be an okay pick. Only time will tell. And for the next one, Joe Lombardo, he's a current governor of Nevada. He would probably give Donald Trump the state of Nevada and flip it in 2024, so I think that swing state appeal from Joe Lombardo would help him, although he would only be in office for less than 2 years, I think, so that's why he's only on the C tier, but still an okay candidate, and it would help Trump get that really law and order appeal that he could actually get. And moving on to someone quite similar to Joe Lombardo. For Lee Zeldin, he would be an okay candidate. as seen in 2022. I think if Trump runs a law and order campaign, someone like Lee Zeldin or Joe Lombardo would be the right choice for him. In 2024, the big issue for Lee Zeldin is that we don't know what he will do until then. He's still unemployed, so that's one of the major factors why he's not on the B tier, of course. So, let's go to Mike Pompeo. So Mike Pompeo, he is a better choice than Mike Pence, of course. Mike Pompeo, he does have a lot of appeal, not a lot of appeal, but he would have a decent appeal to independents because of his career as a Secretary of State. So yeah, that, which some could argue is more important than the vice presidency. But if he has to pick if Trump has to pick someone that is within his cabinet and his contacts, Mike Pompeo would be the best one. Although he is from Kansas, so yeah, Kansas really would not be a great state for Donald Trump to pick a vice president from. So yeah, he's a meh candidate, but yeah, he still is better than most of these people. But still, let's just go to the next one. For JD Vance. So JD Vance, even though he does have a rocky relationship with Donald Trump in the past, yeah, being an anti-Trump Republican, he would give Donald Trump a really decent chance in the Rust Belt, and would perhaps even make Ohio safe R, and states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan would be closer with someone like JD Vance. He would only be in office for 2 years, so that's a bit of an issue, but he would help Donald Trump get some of those Trump 2016 voters, of course. And yeah, it wouldn't be a bad pick for Donald Trump, and but not the greatest, but still an okay pick. So for Mike Garcia, Mike Garcia, he is the representative of the 27th district in California, and his main appeal would be to Latinos, and Trump's appealing towards more Latinos would be a really good idea by Donald Trump. In my opinion, could be even better than the Rust Belt, but I think Trump going 100% towards Latinos would really be something that Democrats would not expect, and the defense would be quite weak towards. The only issue for Mike Garcia is that he's a House representative, so his name recognition would not be as high, but he would help with Latinos and the Hispanic demographic move to the right, and that would really hurt Democrats a lot. So for someone really similar to that, I think Marco Rubio would have a lot of the positives of Mark Garcia, alongside actually having high name recognition and being a senator. So that's why I do have him above Mike Garcia. And Marco Rubio would just be he would have more appeal towards independence, and would help Trump quite a lot. And a lot of the factions of the GOP would be okay with him as vice president. Moving on, so for the ideological pick, so Josh Hawley, he is quite populist and would be a suiting candidate for Donald Trump ideology-wise, and could even be seen as like the successor to Trumpism. His main takeaways is that he is from Missouri, so that would hurt him. I'm not hurt Donald Trump, but he just wouldn't bring a state to the table like someone like JD Vance or Joe Lombardo. But ideology-wise and base-wise, Josh Hawley would be the right pick, although 2024 may be too early for someone like Josh Hawley. But I think if he keeps a low name recognition, or just keeps a low notoriety, it could help Trump. And moving on to the next one for Tim Scott. So Tim Scott, he would help Trump in states like Michigan, Georgia that have high African American populations, and could be seen as a pick that would help bring independents and more moderates to the table. Issue is that he is seen as not being a Trumpist through and through, so that could be a takeaway that some Trumpist people would not like to see Tim Scott be on the ticket, but he would undeniably help Trump in states that have high African American population. Moving on, so let's go for Brian Kemp. The issue with Donald Trump is that Trump hates Kemp. But you can't deny that Brian Kemp would bring a lot of the Trump 2020 voters like that didn't like stuff like January 6th, of course. Especially a lot of those Pence fans would enjoy seeing someone like Brian Kemp undertake. And not only that, he would almost certainly bring Georgia and flip it and bring it on the line and make it red in 2024, alongside helping states like Arizona. He would be a decent choice and would help Trump quite a lot at bringing old voters and new voters. But as said before, Trump kind of low-key hates, not low-key, he hates Brian Kemp. But yeah, that's on him. Moving on, so for the A tier, my take is that Joni Ernst would actually be on the A tier. She is the senator of Iowa and would help bring a lot of appeal for independence, while actually helping Donald Trump in the Rust Belt and perhaps even helping states like Wisconsin alongside the 2nd District of Nebraska go red. She has experience and knows people in the Senate, so that would help Trump a bit, and she would help Trump's issue with women voters alongside that. So let's go now to Glenn Youngkin in the A tier. So yeah, there's two people in the A tier actually. So Glenn Youngkin, we all know that Trump does have some issues with Glenn Youngkin, even though both of them have the business CEO pass, so that's something that both of them can relate to. Glenn Youngkin, he would not flip Virginia, would not help flip, but he does have really high charisma and would really be a great choice that would help bring independent voters alongside giving Sunbelt appeal towards and helping Trump in the Sunbelt. And yeah, a charismatic person with a similar past to Trump that would help Trump quite a lot and would not be a bad choice. Let's go for the S tier candidates, and as you can see, I actually do have Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, at S tier. She's quite a lot to Joni Ernst, but what brings her above Joni Ernst is that she would give that outsider appeal to Donald Trump that Donald Trump desperately needs in 2024 in order to have a chance at winning, and that appeal and her popularity in the state would almost certainly make Iowa a safer state, alongside having a greater chance at flipping the 2nd District of Nebraska, a higher chance at Joni Ernst. So yeah, she would be a great choice alongside helping women voters. And if Donald Trump picks a female as his VP, Kim Reynolds would be the right choice all the way. But we gotta say this, Ron DeSantis at S tier would also be another great choice for Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis, he would help in the Sunbelt quite a lot and would be the absolute perfect pick for someone like Donald Trump. DeSantis would help bring states like Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada closer, alongside uniting all factions of the party and giving more appeal towards young voters. And perhaps this will be the most balanced ticket for Donald Trump in 2024. And as you can see, this is my 2024 Trump VP tier list. And there we go. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a like, join the channel membership, and see you next time.